Hi there, Machedo. Speaking to you from Machedo.com. Who is Machedo and Think Personal Branding? Okay, I got this letter from a gentleman who is based in Dubai. Apparently, he got a job offer in Dubai. He's based in India, but he got a job offer in Dubai, or his wife got. So I'll just read out the letter. Hi, Loy. Hope you're doing well. Well, I'm doing pretty well. My name is whatever. He has given his name. Let's call him Mr. Nair. Mr. Nair has been residing in Mumbai, working in an IT company called whatever, into IT project management. That is a good company, by the way. It's a well-known brand. So I don't think if you ask me on the outset, do not leave or do not resign from a company that is known as a global brand. Okay. Well, first of all, I've been watching your videos on YouTube and want to really appreciate your efforts in putting it through the audience like me who is looking to learn more about the UAE culture. Well, I'm glad I'm giving you, please keep in mind that I'm giving you a perspective, and this is my perspective. I may be wrong, there are different perspectives, but I'm giving you from the perspective of having stayed there for 40 years and being a middle class, an individual who has lived a middle class life. So knowledge about the UAE culture, job search and stuff like that in Dubai. I come back to your videos whenever I have any queries regarding jobs and salary in Dubai per se. Thanks a ton for that. I really appreciate it. If you want to support me, please like, share, and subscribe. That's the least you can do for me. I need a small help with you regarding a query. I hope you don't mind helping me. All right, no problem, because I'm doing this as a video series. So the query is as follows. My wife is a chemistry professor here in Mumbai. Okay, so she's a chemistry professor working in a junior college for standard 11th and 12th. Now, if there is a person, an individual who is in a teaching position for a junior college, that too for 11th and 12th standard, that is not a skill that is very highly in demand, or that is not a skill. By highly in demand, I mean something that is really well paid. Okay, because you need to understand the teaching profession in itself does not pay well, especially in the Middle East. Okay, please keep this in mind. Indian teachers are not paid very good salaries, and that is the reason all of them are overworked. You don't need to believe me, just do your research. All of them are overworked. They work on an average 12 to 18 hours a day. How do I mean by that? What do I mean by that is after they finish teaching students in a classroom, then they have additional responsibilities that the school gives them. Then they also have tuitions, which they do not legally, where they charge students, let's say, roughly in the range of 300 to 500 dirhams per student. Now, this is not legally done because if it is found out by the school authorities, the teacher can be taken to task. And I've known this has happened personally. Most of the teachers make their money by going door to door. Some teachers do it in their house, but this is the trend that has been taking place. And the reason why they do it is because they cannot manage with their expenses. The teaching profession pays very bad salaries. Okay, and I had recently applied for GEMS education vacancies. GEMS is a monolith. It is a monopoly there in the Middle East. The owner of GEMS, he knows very closely the ruler of Dubai, son. The son studied in GEMS. Our own English high school is a massive monopoly there in Dubai. It has so many branches. I mean, it's a sea of employees. And I'll tell you this much, that your wife, if she takes up the employment with GEMS, she will get lost in that sea of employees. They are very powerful. You cannot do anything. They have their stringent rules. They have their policies in place. If you have an issue with them, you cannot do anything. Recently, they called her up, asking her to come for the interview on 27th October in Mumbai only. Okay, they are trying to get cheap, affordable teaching staff, because now what is happening is people do not stick there because they do not get paid very good salaries. So they work until their term is over and then they leave. And they cannot leave in between because their passports are taken away from them. Okay, and was offered a salary of 85,000 rupees. Now, I'll give you an understanding. INR to AED. Okay, 85,000 rupees. 85,000 rupees. So that's 4,249 dirhams. That is for Dubai. That is really seriously average. I doubt she'll be able to take care of her expense. Now, it is not as low as 2,000 dirhams. That is half of what most of the teachers are being offered. If she's being offered the range that you said, 4,249, that is okay if she gets her own separate accommodation, which is not given. And in terms of accommodation, which you have stated, accommodation consists of a furnished house, travel tickets. I can tell you this much, that the teachers, the accommodation that they are being given is not what you think. It's not glamorous. It's not a beautiful, nice little room with a bed, an AC, a television, all that. No, it's really bad, pathetic conditions. And what I suggest you to do is get someone who is actually working in GEMS, who actually has an apartment, to show you photographs of how they stay. If my gut feeling proves me right, it's bed space, it's sharing, and it's pretty congested, and it's not something that a family person would like to stay. Okay, the food, electricity bill, and water bill will be our expenses, which will be high. I can assure you that much, is what they have offered. I do not know how much that will sum up. Well, it'll come up to 500 dirhams per person. Okay, your thoughts. My thoughts is, if, see, here's the thing. It's a risk you have to take. If you're not earning enough, being in India, well, obviously that is the reason you want to migrate. But then you need to understand that once you migrate to a country like the Middle East, you become the slave to the system for the period of the contract for 3 years. She cannot go anywhere. She cannot do anything. Her passport is not with her. She cannot leave if she is not happy. And as per the contract, if she does break the contract in between, she'll have to refund the company the sum of money for the visa and the other expenses. Now, you need to keep this in mind. However, I was wondering if the deal is fine in terms of 85,000 dirham salary. See, I do not know your expenses. I do not know your lifestyle. I do not know what are your goals. But I can tell you this much, that that kind of salary is not at all sufficient. Okay, it's not sufficient to survive for very long. I mean, if you're looking for a short term, just to experiment and see how the journey goes, well, you can go ahead. But personally, it would be pretty low. And for which they are hinting they are ready to negotiate. They're ready to negotiate because they do not have enough and more people who want to apply for these jobs, because they're paying very, very less. Okay, what do you think should be the correct salary? I can tell you this much, that teachers are not being paid good salaries. It's very hard to negotiate. You cannot negotiate with a massive, gigantic company that has a structure in place, because your wife, she's not exceptionally qualified. She's not like a brand by itself, or she's not a crowd puller. She's just an ordinary teacher. So you cannot negotiate. Or what do you think is the correct salary? Well, like I said, I do not know. That is your call. You need to know your expenses. So your help and thoughts would be really helpful in solving this dilemma as to what we should do. You need to take the risk, my dear. But keep in mind, once your wife does join the company, she cannot leave until the contractual period is over. With that being said, I don't have a job as of now in Dubai. Then you are, you are inviting trouble, because if you do not have a job in Dubai, life is very expensive. You'll not survive and sustain. And I have to go through a search if everything goes well. Trust me when I say this, it's going to take you, if you do come down to Dubai without contacts, without connections to search for a job, it's going to take you roughly 1 year, around 1 year to get even a basic job, to get anything, because the market conditions are really challenging. My expense will also have to be considered, assuming I don't have a job at least for some time. Well, if your wife is going there and you're going there, you don't have a job, then whatever your wife earns will be spent on you. You'll basically be saving zero. Okay, you'll be saving zero, and you'll be under tremendous stress, because you'll constantly be going up and down just to hunt for a job. I really need your help, since you have so much of experience with all this. Well, I hope this the answer to this email gives you the answers that you're looking for. Eagerly waiting your reply. Well, this is what I have to suggest to you. Please do not go down there unless and until you do know what your strategy is, unless you have positioned yourself as a brand, unless you have the contacts and connections, and you're going for a job that pays you at least the basic. With regards to basic, I would say if you're staying somewhere in Dubai, you should look at a salary scale of 6,000 to 8,000 dirhams a month. That is per head. And that's the only way you can survive. But if you're being offered accommodation, Well, that is a big question because a company can say that we are giving you accommodation, but then a bed space can also be called an accommodation. Bad conditions of living can also be called accommodation, and you do not know the number of hours that you'll have to spend while working. So I hope this answers your question. Anything else, let me know. Live from Machedo.com. Who's Live Machedo and Think Personal Branding. Signing off for now. Like the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't like it, thumbs down. This is me signing off. Take care. Bye.